Well, maybe you're still hyped up from the game, or you're stressed about the pandemic or the economy. Either way, you might have trouble sleeping tonight.
And before you turn to one of the most popular sleep aids on the market, you need to see what our chief investigative reporter Jeremy Finley uncovered about its troubling side effects.
We are talking about Ambien. A Williamson County woman says her side effects were alarming, including waking up with food in her mouth after she made herself meals while she was asleep. And she says that doesn't even compare to what she experienced from withdrawal. All her life, turning off her brain at night has been a struggle for ANITA PARSLEY. But she says being prescribed Ambien for insomnia became a nightmare she couldn't awaken from.
Oh, it was absolutely terrible. It was something that no one should ever have to go through.
She says the first warning sign, preparing meals while asleep.
I woke up with food in my mouth. I mean, I could have choked to death in my sleep.
Then, she says, came sleepwalking and texting all while sleeping. Even though its own label shows it should be taken in the short term, take a look. She was prescribed it for most of a 4.5-year period. Why? With even the side effects, she says it worked so well, she couldn't stop.
Knowing that I was so dependent on it that I was terrified.
When you hear about side effects like sleepwalking and texting and cooking, if you experience any of those, should you stop taking this medicine?
That's the time to really stop, because it can likely continue, and there is a possibility that these can become more dangerous. So you put yourself or others at risk.
But she says when her doctor took her off the medication, she ended up in the hospital with suicidal thoughts.
I was hallucinating. I was even hallucinating with my eyes closed.
To get a good night's sleep, try 2-layer Ambien CR.
All of this happening 2 years after the FDA gave the medication a black box warning, citing sleepwalking and sleep driving. But Parsley says she'd been on the drug so long at that point, she'd stopped reading the label. And even though an FDA warning from 2013 advised doctors to lower dosing recommendations for women from 10 milligrams to 5, citing side effects the day after taking the pill, you can see Parsley was prescribed 10 milligrams just last year. A spokeswoman for the clinic that prescribed the drug wrote they couldn't comment, citing their patient privacy policy.
And I feel like the doctor should at least owe me an apology.
In a statement to News 4 Investigates, the manufacturer of Ambien wrote in part, "We stand behind the robust clinical data that have demonstrated the safety and efficacy of Ambien since its approval in the U.S. in 1992. Now on different medication to help with sleep, Parsley says all she can do is share her story, a story that almost ended.
I even requested a priest to pray for me because I thought I was dying.
Here's something else important. Dr. KOLLA says if you do take this, take it right before bed. He says you may not remember the things you do after you take it. And Ambien's own manufacturer even states not to take it unless you are able to stay in bed a full night, 7 to 8 hours, before you must be active again. Jeremy Finley, News 4 Investigates.